My first question is about when you live with one person and your creations are so opposite. For example, I would love to be out of the bondage of my marriage, and my husband wants to be married to me for the rest of his life. One of us has got to be a loser in that situation.
All right, so as you say, the bondage, can you feel how hurtful that word is to you? Now, let's go back to something much softer for just a moment. So Esther's in a restaurant, and she's seeing this little girl in bondage, and her heart is hurting for this. Now, she can't do anything about changing it, but she can do something about her own heart hurt. And that's what we meant earlier when we asked our friend, can your hips hurt from arthritis? And can you feel hope at the same time? So it's like separating my emotional journey from what I'm having to live right now as a result of what I've thought before. So here I am, I'm in this relationship, and there are many reasons that I stay. Security is one. Family is another. Don't want to break the heart of someone that I do care about. So you've got this real life scenario that you have to live in, at least for now. So if you can hear this, it's going to free you. Right now, I'm not choosing to leave. I'm choosing to stay. But I'm destroying myself because I'm choosing to stay and call it bondage at the same time. So I'm taking the action journey of staying, and I'm taking the emotional journey of feeling awful while I stay. So like we said to our friend, oh, this is so good. Like we said to our friend, can your hips hurt and can you feel hope? So we want to say to you, can you stay and feel something other than bondage? And the answer is yes, but you've got to work yourself into it, you see. You've got to work yourself into feeling better about staying. So go and feel good about going, or stay and feel good about staying, but don't go and feel bad about going, and don't stay and feel bad about staying. It's two journeys all the time. There's what I'm doing and there's how I'm feeling about it. And so if you will just make a decision, well, I've decided that I'm going to stay, and I've decided that I'm going to make the best of it, and I've decided I'm going to keep my options open, and I've decided that I'm reaching for a better life, but I'm deciding that the reaching for the better life right now is staying where I am for right now. That's the best thing for me to do. We see so many who jump out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. They feel bondage, and finally they take all they can take and they leave, and then they attract the same or worse situation right behind because they didn't adjust their vibration before they went. We also see a lot who hear us, who work hard to adjust their vibration where they stay, who find out they don't have to go, that what they wanted was right there all along. They weren't just vibrationally open to it, you see. You create your relationships with each other, and the bondage that you're getting is more you're doing than it is your partner's doing, because your expectation of it is playing into it in such a powerful way. Have you ever known someone who seemed insecure? They didn't seem to know what they wanted, so you guided them, and it worked out well, and so they yielded to you again, and it worked out well, and then later they accused you of bossing them around. And you know that situation by situation, it was just what worked best. And that's what we're talking about here. When you finally get it, that nobody's the boss of you because nobody can vibrate for you, then you begin to feel free no matter what's going on, because you're free to think the thoughts that feel good. But you have a ways to go, because the really good feeling thoughts aren't the first ones on the tip of your tongue or mind when you've been having these other experiences for so long. When someone calls their marriage bondage, we know that there is a strong, forceful, dominant personality close by. We also know that the two of you have gravitated together because when you first came together, that was an answer to something you thought you wanted. And happens all the time. You're insecure, so you gravitate to somebody who's strong, then you get stronger and then resent their strength. And what you want to do instead is love the strength that was there when you weren't strong and appreciate the fact that they're still strong while you're getting strong, but don't butt heads. And the way you don't butt heads is you don't talk to the other about feeling bondage, and you don't talk to the other about how you want to control your own life. You just vibrationally begin controlling your own life. In other words, Esther did not mention to Jerry or to the hostess that seated them or to the waitress that later served them. She didn't leave a note to tell them how ineffective the previous waiter had been. In other words, she had her experience, took it in internally, spent a few minutes thinking about it, lined up her energy, and changed her outcome without butting any heads, without causing any ripples, without even having a conversation with anyone about it, you see. Mm-hmm. And while that's a mild example in comparison with this, the same rules still apply. There are people who will say, Abraham, let me tell you the details of where I live. Don't you think I should go? And sometimes we say, yes. But we always say, but if you leave this relationship because it's unpleasant, because there are things in it that hurt your heart or that you don't like, then you better get out of town too, because town's full of stuff you don't like. And out of this country and off of this continent and off of this planet, now we don't know where to send you. But when you say, no, I can stay where I am, and I can find enough right where I am that activates a feeling of well-being and autonomy within me, then you can go anywhere, you see.
Thank you.
As we feel you, we don't disagree with your struggle, but we also understand why you haven't left sooner. There's as much reason to stay as there is reason to go. And depending upon which part you decide to activate, you see, will determine how your life plays out. I want to give you this specifically and powerfully. Clean up your energy for a week. Then clean up your energy for another week. And at the end of 30 days, you're going to feel like a different person. Then make the decision.
Okay.
And the decision you make, you'll want to shout to the boundaries of the universe. You're going to say, I've decided to line up my energy with this decision. You'll know.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
What was your biggest takeaway from today's message? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring content.